What if I told you that the biggest difference between someone with $10,000 and someone with $1 million isn't their bank account, but how they think? Reaching a seven-figure net worth in 2026 isn't just a financial achievement. It's a psychological one. Most people focus on the external numbers, but the real work happens internally. It's about how you view risk, how you handle failure, and how you detach your self-worth from your spending. There is a specific mental framework that millionaires use to navigate the world. A way of thinking that allows them to stay calm when the market crashes and stay disciplined when everyone else is showing off. Today, we're looking at the invisible psychology of the self-made millionaire and how you can adopt those same patterns to reach your next financial level. The first psychological shift is moving from a consumer mindset to an owner mindset. The average person looks at a dollar and thinks about what they can buy with it. They see a new phone, a car, or a dinner out. Their primary relationship with money is spending and instant gratification. Millionaires, however, look at a dollar and see a seed. They think about what that dollar can earn for them over the next decade. They see every dollar as a little employee that can go out and work tirelessly to bring more dollars back home. This is the owner mindset. When they see a successful company, they don't just want to buy its products, they want to buy its stock. They want to own the systems that generate wealth, not just feed them temporarily. Instead of looking for ways to get rid of your money on things that lose value, you are constantly looking for ways to put it to work in assets that appreciate or generate income. This discipline creates a powerful engine for long-term wealth that eventually grows faster than any salary ever could. Another key trait is the consistent decoupling of self-worth from net worth. Most people use their spending to signal their status to the world. They buy expensive things, often with borrowed money, to feel successful and to show others that they have made it. They are playing a zero-sum game of social status that keeps them on a treadmill of needing more income just to cover more expenses. The person with $1 million psychology doesn't feel the need to prove anything to anyone. They are often the millionaire next door. The person driving a 10-year-old reliable car and wearing basic, functional clothes. They understand that true wealth is what you don't see. It is the money growing in the brokerage account and the equity building in the real estate, not the depreciating assets sitting in the driveway. By removing the need for external validation, they free up massive amounts of capital to invest. They aren't playing the status game. They are playing a long-term game of freedom and security. They realize that being rich is having money, but being wealthy is having time. And you cannot buy time if you are busy paying off a car loan for a vehicle you bought to impress neighbors you don't even like. Risk tolerance is handled differently at the million-dollar level. The average person is terrified of the stock market because they see it as gambling. They focus intensely on the short-term volatility, the daily news headlines, and the fear of losing what they have. This fear prevents them from participating in the greatest wealth creation engine in history, the market. The millionaire psychology views risk as a calculated and necessary component of growth. They understand that the greatest risk of all is not taking any risk and letting inflation silently eat away at their savings in a bank account. They don't gamble on get-rich-quick schemes, but they are comfortable with the historical, predictable ups and downs of the broad market. They have the emotional stability to stay invested when the headlines are screaming about a crash. They view market downturns not as disasters, but as sales, or opportunities to buy more assets at a lower price. This emotional resilience allows them to capture the long-term gains that most people miss because they panic and sell at the bottom, locking in their losses. They know that wealth is transferred from the impatient to the patient during times of market stress. One of the most important habits is the mastery of extreme delayed gratification. In a world of one-day shipping and instant downloads, the ability to wait is a superpower. Millionaires are people who are willing to sacrifice comfort and luxury today for security and freedom tomorrow. They don't need the upgrade now. They don't need the expensive vacation now. They understand the simple math of compounding interest, that $1,000 invested today is worth many multiples of $1,000 spent today. This isn't about being cheap or suffering. It's about being strategic. They are willing to live a lifestyle that is significantly less than what they can actually afford, so that they can eventually reach a point where work is entirely optional. This long-term thinking and willingness to be uncomfortable in the short term is the absolute bedrock foundation of every seven-figure portfolio. They treat their future selves like a person they truly care about, ensuring that the person they become in 20 years isn't struggling because of the impulsive choices they made today. The relationship with time is also fundamentally different. Most people trade their time directly for money. They think in terms of hourly rates or annual salaries. Their earning potential is capped by the hours in a day. Millionaires think in terms of systems and scalability. They look for ways to disconnect their income from their physical labor and time. This is why they invest in dividend-paying stocks, rental properties with property managers, or businesses that can run successfully without their constant direct input. They realize that time is their most limited and valuable resource, and they use their money strategically to buy it back. Their goal isn't just to have $1 million as a number. It's to have the time and freedom to do whatever they want with that money and their lives. This focus on building passive growth engines over active labor is what allows wealth to grow exponentially rather than just linearly. They stop asking, "How can I do this?" and start asking, "How can this get done without me?" People with $1 million net worth also possess what psychologists call an internal locus of control. They believe that they are the primary architects of their financial destiny. While the average person blames the economy, the government, their boss, or their upbringing for their lack of wealth, the millionaire takes total responsibility. If they lose money on an investment, they don't blame the market. They blame their own lack of research or emotional control. This mindset is incredibly empowering because if you are the cause of your problems, you are also the only one who can provide the solution. By refusing to play the victim, they maintain the power to change their circumstances. They focus their energy entirely on things they can control: their savings rate, their asset allocation, and their skill development, rather than wasting time complaining about things they cannot change. Millionaires also have a different and much healthier approach to failure and mistakes. When the average person loses money on an investment or fails at a business venture, they often view it as a personal indictment of their intelligence. They let shame, regret, and embarrassment paralyze them financially. Those with $1 million psychology view failure as a tuition fee for their financial education. They analyze exactly what went wrong, adjust their strategy based on the facts, and move forward without emotional baggage. They don't take the loss personally. They understand that setbacks and losses are a normal, unavoidable part of the process of taking calculated risks that lead to growth. This resilience ensures that they stay in the game long enough to eventually succeed. They are far more afraid of staying stagnant and safe than they are of making a temporary mistake. They know that every no or every failed trade brings them one step closer to the strategy that will actually work. Consistency is valued incredibly highly over intensity. Many people try to get rich by making one big hit, a lucky stock pick that everyone is talking about, a lottery ticket, or a highly risky venture they don't understand. The $1 million mindset focuses on the boring, daily, weekly, and monthly habits that guarantee slow but powerful progress. They automate their savings, they reinvest their dividends, they stick to their budget month after month, year after year. They understand with certainty that wealth isn't built in a weekend or a viral stock trade. It's built through thousands of small, correct decisions made consistently over decades. This ability to find contentment and discipline in the boring middle of the journey is what prevents them from making the impulsive mistakes that ruin most portfolios. They aren't looking for a sprint. They are settled in for a lifelong marathon where the only requirement for winning is not stopping. Social circles are managed intentionally and with purpose. The people you spend the most time with have a massive, quantifiable impact on your financial psychology and habits. If your friends are constantly spending money they don't have to impress people they don't like, you will likely fall into the same traps. Millionaires tend to surround themselves with other growth-minded individuals. They talk about ideas, investments, business opportunities, and goals rather than gossip, consumer goods, or the latest TV show. This environment reinforces their positive financial habits and provides a support system for their long-term vision. They aren't looking for friends who will help them spend money. They are looking for peers who will help them grow their minds and their net worth. Finally, the most successful people view wealth as a tool, not an end goal. They don't just want to see a high number on a screen. They want the security, options, and ability to help others that money provides. This sense of purpose gives them the drive to stay disciplined when things get hard. Whether it's providing for their family, supporting a cause they care about, or achieving total independence, they have a why that is bigger than just buying things. This clear purpose is the ultimate anchor for their financial psychology. When you adopt these mental habits, $1 million net worth stops being a dream and starts becoming an eventual reality. It is the result of thinking differently so you can live differently.